sometimes when I get a prototype or an early review copy, it's not always the finished product. They're still tweaking some things, and they're also addressing really wonderful things like artwork and quality components. And I have to say, I just received my copy, the final production copy of Kinfire Council, along with Winds of Change, which offers players solo and cooperative play to the existing game that I've already brought on my channel to show you when this went to crowdfunding. So it's lovely, because I have to say the quality here is top notch, and I wouldn't expect anything different. Kinfire Chronicles was one of my favorite campaign games, cooperative kind of, work together, adventuring, and then combat like foes along the way and build up your character, a little RPG style game. I really loved it. The world is lovely and the characters are fantastic. And then I played the Kinfire Delve, the 1 to 2 player cooperative dive game that's all about tactics and strategy. And now I got the Kinfire Council. Now, I will say my biggest critique of this game when it first came out, and I will talk about it here on the channel now, is that it was all of a sudden competitive. And everything so far in the Kinfire world has been cooperative. So when I got Winds of Change, not only does it offer a lot of new things and some additions to existing components, which I'll talk to you about, it offers the cooperative play against the baddies. And I have to say that probably is the only way I will play this game now. I love it. It really just takes this game, which is a good game, which is a fine game, and makes it a great experience. And so I'm just saying, put it right over the top for me and really just solidified that cooperative feel of all the Kinfire just stuff, all the games out there that are Kinfire based. So here's just that quick overview, and I want you to see some of the components because, again, just the best quality. Things fit together a lot better on the map with the finished product of what's adjacent to each other. So whenever you place out cultists and you essentially have to go to arrest them with your figures, you are going to be placing them to an adjacent position. But you'll see here between tiers, you got tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. You'll see that they have this bridge. And so 18 is adjacent to 15, but these are no longer adjacent to each other. And the same thing here with 6 and 9. They've got the bridge, but you're not going to see an adjacency here. And then you've got your tier 1, which are all adjacent, orthogonally connected. So that's a really great fix. And I think, again, the quality of these tiles that go in and out are so great when you upgrade. Essentially, you're doing a city planning. You're going to become, hopefully it's patron, and you're going to flip it over. That's going to be the backside. Now, there are some possibilities for cards in the game to change your locations to, in this case, we have Isabel's Emporium and Nara's Bounties, but it's slightly different. You'll see it says B. So this is going to be one possible change, and I like that these are removable because now in Winds of Change, you're going to have different locations that might essentially, I say permanently, but permanent until you pass a law or order that will change it, but it's going to essentially change your locations. And so I'll bring this over and just show you here. So you now have your A's, and these are going to be the changes that you make to your board whenever you pass these special decrees. These are going to be rezoning. So you'll see these cards, you'll add 4 into your deck, and you'll have these rezoning, takes effect permanently across games. It will stay there until you pass this decree to swap back, but your tile 8 will then become 8A, and your game over time will become unique from everybody else's game, and it will offer you new places to go and differences in your locations, because this is going to be a worker placement game. So I'm going to pop this guy back over here real fast, because players are going to receive a seeker board and they're going to get their acrylic seeker. I just can't say enough good things. I love the acrylics. I love the pieces in this game. I love the components. They're just so, so beautiful. So you've got these figures, these discs, much like you draw these discs for player actions in combat in Kinfire Chronicles. Here they're your discs to place out into these spaces that again have an indent. It fits so well. Your character goes there, and guess what? Nobody else can go there unless there is a particular ability that they have, or they are copying something. They're allowed to essentially place where you go. So in a 2-player game, you get to play with all of your discs, which are 5 worker discs and your seeker that has a built-in specialty. And so these figures are going to go where they essentially say. So if you see a hex, if you see this up here at the home of hospitality, or if you come to over here, you'll see the hex symbol here. This is going to allow you to essentially try to defeat these cultists. Let's see here, we got some really wild cards here. So some of these might not actually be here because they've got the little dash, but you could come here, and with this figure, not with the round disc, you can come there and you can essentially pay what's here to get the victory points and to essentially thwart the plans of the cultists. So these are going to go out onto the board, and players are going to play one at a time until all of your discs are gone. And that's the day phase, essentially. In the morning, all the baddies do their baddie stuff, and you get a nice bag draw for that here. You're going to reach in this bag, and you're going to pull out 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to execute them in order of number, placing cards out if there's no card, but if the card is there in range 1 to 6, 7 to 12, 13 to 18, you're going to essentially activate. You're going to put the little cultist symbol here, and you're going to put it on the card, and it's going to build up until it reaches its limit, and then it's going to fire off and be really, really bad for players. And then once they have activated, they go into these spaces and they block them from players using them until, of course, you come adjacent to them and choose not to take the location action, but instead to arrest them. And then you're going to keep their discs because some of these actions ask you to pay a cultist that you have arrested to gain something, like Crimson Exchange. You turn in a cultist and you can get a Kinfire or $4, and you can essentially do this action twice, or you can pay a card that you have essentially thwarted to do the 2 gems or a lantern and 2 coins, and that's just at location number 10. So the cultists do bad things, and boy do they do bad things. So let me tell you, in the cooperative version, this is my favorite, it is a fight. These are going to be the new cultist cards. And you're going to flip one of these over at the start of the round when you flip over 2 decree cards. And it's going to have an automatic vote that you have to meet or exceed. And it's going to say, this will remain in law if you don't do anything about this, corrupt gate guards. This is going to take effect right away when you flip the card over, which, come on, it's bad. It's just going to elevate the game. The cultists are a real threat in this version. In the competitive version, I found that it was really just player versus player, and every now and then cultists got in the way, and I didn't feel like they were a real threat. They are a real threat in the cooperative game. Then if it passes, it's going to do this, and that's nasty. So you got these amped up baddies. You got these really, really strong negative cards that are going to absolutely affect how players work together. And that's the other thing, when you're playing this cooperatively, you're talking about your turn. You're not taking locations away from players. Now, in a worker placement game, this is what happens. I go there. You don't get to go there. I had first turn, I had initiative, and I took it. You wanted to go there, but I took it. Well, let's say I get to go first, and I say, hey, Lewis, this is who I'm playing with. I'd really like to go up here, and I'd like to essentially thwart that cultist. And he says, no. If you go to this side, I can come here and get this, and then you can still do it from that side over, because I really want to go to 13. And I go, okay, no problem. Right? That's fine by me. I don't need this action, or so forth. So you're talking through what you're doing and when you're doing it. And at the end of your turn, when you place a worker, you have the option of running errands. This city is going to have needs that you have to meet, paying resources, which give you victory points, but if you don't do it, the cultists essentially gain from that because you're not taking care of your city, you're not taking care of your people. And you can also come up here to the lighthouse. And the lighthouse is going to change every single round. There are 5 rounds in the game of placing out all your workers after the cultists act, and then you do a cleanup phase, which is Night's Fall. And then you're going to get a new lighthouse. The lighthouse is going to give you progress on this track. And guess what? If you don't make progress on the lighthouse, the cultists gain progress. And oh my gosh, if your marker, anybody's marker in a cooperative game, does not exceed the cultist on the scoreboard, you lose. Everybody who's playing has to exceed the marker that the cultists are going to get. And I'm going to say, the very first time I played this, we lost. One of our player markers was past the cultist, but one of our other player markers did not. And it was thrilling. I mean, honestly, it was so thrilling. There are some secret cards that get put away, and at the end you flip them over, and then you give them the points that are in the bottom corner, and boy, do we get some nasty cards in there. But it was so fun. So the game Winds of Change is going to give you new lighthouses, and all you do is shuffle them all up, and then you select 5, and those are going to be your 5 that you use. There is a new mark. It's going to be this bag right here. This is going to be a new token in the game, and you get these. These are very powerful, but also have a drawback. Now, let me just show you. I'm going to pull this out so I can keep track of all of it. These are going to be your favor tokens, and favor tokens essentially are anything you want it to be. It could be any of the major resources, even a Kinfire, and Kinfire is so hard to get. But when you use one of these, the cult is going to gain as well. And it's kind of nasty, but they're so versatile. So I love the look. I love the feel. I love this little bag that it comes in. You see the little symbol right there. It is just fantastic. So this is a brand new component that I think really changes up the game. And also you've got these upgraded tiles. So here's the Shady Dealer, which anybody can go to, any number of people. But in your Winds of Change, they have added a chance to lose 2 victory points to gain one of those tokens. And then you'll see on the backside here too. So you get to do it twice. Yes, if it's upgraded. So you're going to replace your Shady Dealer here with the new upgraded tile. And there's going to be extra cards for your decrees. There's going to be extra cards for your books in the library. So you're going to add some components. So that's what your lighthouses, decrees, research, and threats. Cult decrees I talked about. Those are the special cards. The favor token, and then of course your rezoning law and rezone districts, which have the extra tiles. So this Winds of Change paired with the base game, the quality you get here, along with these fantastic location guides and player aids. Here's the Winds of Change, and it adds the information that comes with the Winds of Change, so that you have all the icons, you have all the information. Each player gets one of these, so your player aid is just invaluable. And then, let's say you're on the other side of the table. Let's say you can't see what's on the board. You've got these location guides, and you know what the Winds of Change tiles are. And then you look here, and you've got your regular location guide. It's so good. It is so clear. It's so easy to watch and follow. I think, again, 10 out of 10 on quality. Not a single thing was essentially shorted in this copy. I mean, this is great. I love this. This is a really nice, thick, beautiful cardboard first player marker. And then you get this guy. Wow, it's like it weighs a pound, maybe? Probably not a pound, probably a couple ounces. But still, it's like this gold and silver, shiny, cute thing. I mean, oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. There's just a lot to like here, but I will 100% recommend the cooperative version. You have a real battle against the cultists. You get to plan together. The game feels like the Kinfire world that I fell in love with in Kinfire Chronicles. So, for me, hands down, always playing cooperatively and always playing with the Winds of Change that give you just even more things to play with an extra brand new component, and of course the solo and the cooperative version play, which you absolutely need to have. So these are going to be those Cult Decree cards, and boy, just have a great time with this. And if you are a fan of the Kinfire world, you're going to love Kinfire Council, because this has that lovely worker placement, it has the resource management, and it has this really, really tough, challenging fight against the baddies. If the cultists' player marker on the scoreboard is higher than any player in the game, at the end of the game, you lose. And there is a pretty good chance you're going to have a stiff competition with that. Just really, really great. So loving, loving, loving the final production copy of Kinfire Council and all the cool things that Winds of Change offers players. So that's going to be it for me this time, folks. Thank you for joining me in this kind of final take on this game. And of course, that cooperative version. Yes, yes, yes. All right, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye.